everyone, and welcome to You Hate to See It, where I don't remember what I used to say. It's been a long time. I'm Adam.
I'm Jeff.
Nick's not here, and which is a good thing. And we've replaced him with friends of the show. Haven't been on in a long time.
No,
We have,
it's been forever.
No.
Ian and Sarah Kennedy. Welcome from Drunken Housewife Reviews.
Well,
Yes.
it's Sarah and Ian Kennedy because Sarah is
He's my eye
top
candy.
bill, yeah.
Okay, yes,
Yeah.
okay.
It is the Drunken Housewife review, not the Stoned Husband review. So
I was going alphabetically, but okay.
It's all good.
We go by matter of importance here, and let's face it,
Well,
I'm
yeah,
more
yeah,
important.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's Sarah's other personalities, and then Ian.
Yeah, pretty much.
Exactly. Thank you for recognizing everybody in my head.
All
They
right, you are
appreciate it.
welcome.
They're saying thank you as well.
It's been a long time. What have you all been up to since? It's probably been a year, actually.
I'm trying to think. I know
been
we
some
did the thing
crazy
at Christmas
stuff.
with you
Oh,
guys.
yeah.
Yeah, we did
Taskmaster.
Taskmaster, and then it
And
was
I-
before
Wild
that,
time.
before an actual episode.
Yeah. So yeah, I think Taskmaster was the very last thing we did with you guys
Mhm.
at Christmas, and here it is, almost Halloween again. You
Yeah.
never write. You never call.
There you are.
You got married without me.
I-
I'm not holding it against you.
Didn't that happen before Taskmaster?
It did
Was it
happen
before
before.
Task-
It
Yeah.
did happen
You
before
still
Taskmaster.
got married without me. I thought we had a thing, but that's
I'm-
okay.
We
How's
had
married life treating you though? I mean, is it
it's
good?
exactly the same as unmarried life, except
Well,
now
yeah.
I have to wear a
Understand.
ring, which I'm not wearing. I only wear it when I leave the house. But
Now, my dad, before we got married, my dad, every guy that married into the family, he's like, I'm going to tell you some things about a Riggs woman before you marry into this family. Number one, the only thing that can bring down a Riggs woman is another Riggs woman.
Mhm.
Number two, your job from now on is to sit and await instruction. But number three,
Yeah.
you're never going to be bored. So whenever I do absolutely
Never.
insane shit and he gives me that look,
Never
I'm like, hey,
bored.
what did dad promise you? And he's like, that I would never be bored. And I'm like, just keeping up my end of the bargain.
yeah,
Just-
It's always an adventure. I always basically my whole life is like, what's going on now? What's going on now?
Yeah.
Okay, just information only too. That's another thing. There's no attitude behind it. Information only.
Yeah.
Just let me know what's
yeah,
going
we
on.
wake up every morning going, okay, so this is the fresh hell we're waking up to. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see. Our bus is broken, so we have no transportation for Maddie. That's fun.
that's super exciting.
It's
Super
sort
exciting.
of fixed, sort of, kind of. We
The-
take it
I can
the
only
bus-
assume that means you
places,
fucked
so
around with it with WD-40 and duct tape is the only thing I can assume that meant.
It's close
Uh,
to it.
No, I truthfully think it's afraid of my nephew because I'll call him and be like, okay, I can't get the bus to start. And I actually sent him video because he's like, well, do you know how to turn a key? Look, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Took video of it and it would turn, but it wouldn't turn over.
Mhm.
And so he had to like tighten some stuff. But then, like, I'm going to do this. He made a whole video on, well, here's how you jump it from the ignition. You have to climb underneath the bus. And I'm like, I'm going to stop you right there.
Like, yeah. that's
This does not climb under a bus. No, it's not
I
happening.
might be able to do that, but I'm not sure. I haven't tried yet.
It's also taking a pair of pliers and like zapping yourself on the ignition,
Basically, yeah. just-
like you're Frankenstein's monster or something, you know, and
yeah,
then
those two things.
He just learned a new kink. Leave
So,
him
yeah.
alone.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
just-
exactly.
you know, but the bus itself runs. The lift, however,
Yeah.
we have to do manually, which involves a lever and pumping and rotator cuff injury. Yeah.
Back injury,
Yeah,
you
that's-
know.
that's
as well.
ex-
So,
yeah.
yeah.
So if you
Yeah.
guys win the lottery, keep us in mind.
The government did not give me $20,000 off my student debt, so I am
Whoa, he
tapped.
did not.
We hear
tapped.
you. We hear you. He's looking for a new job
Yeah.
because number one, I mean, he's in his 50s at the airline.
So,
And
yeah,
yeah.
I'm done bouncing around on the airplane.
And number
Yeah.
two, you want to know how many jobs make more money than what he's making now? Up in
All
the
of
air?
All of them?
All of them.
Up in,
Pretty
yeah,
much.
up in the
Pretty
air.
much.
Yeah. We finally came to the conclusion he needs to leave the airline when somebody that we know who works for sanitation makes twice what he does.
Oof.
Yeah. It's like,
Well, one of the things is that we found out on the job search is that if I went to the airport and was the manager at the candy store at the
Oh
airport,
no.
I would be making 3 times as much money as I am now.
Oh.
to manage
To manage
the candy
the
store.
little candy store at the airport. Basically, hey, how are you?
Did
Here's
you-
some new
Truffle?
candy. Yeah,
Yeah.
truffle.
Did you
wanna pay for
apply?
that, sir?
Yes.
Yeah, I was
Hell
like-
yeah, fuck yeah, dude. Oh my
Dude,
god.
he applied at Lion's Den to be the manager
Nice.
because it makes twice as much as he's making now. And he's like, you know what?
Yeah.
I can talk sex and dildos all day long for that amount of money.
I don't have a problem with that.
No problem whatsoever.
You need
I
to
have
get
no
like
shame.
really good at it and like know all the models and be like, no, that's last year's. You're gonna
Yeah,
want this
no.
one.
Oh yeah, exactly.
No, if you're
You
really
need
wanting,
the P90X.
If you want to really hit that spot,
yeah,
this is
You
the
need
model
this
you need,
one.
my
The
friend.
new one, the ribs are a millimeter closer to each other. Let me tell you.
try this one
Oh
with a
my gosh.
kickstand and a pull cord. Come on, it's good. It's
Oh my gosh, put on the whole used cars persona with that, talking about the different. Oh, this gets this kind of mileage with this guy.
Even
right
though
here.
I don't think you're getting commission, so it doesn't matter which
Yeah,
one you sell.
exactly.
It sounds like what you want the lift master for something else is what it sounds like.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly. Oh my
you
god,
know.
we could sell it on eBay as not what it's intended for.
anyway.
That's not
You
a
can
bad
take the
idea.
motor out of it and build something real neat.
There, yeah, exactly.
I'm not gonna lie. I have a friend that has a lift similar, and she calls it Lola the sex swing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
yeah. She's
a-
like, yeah,
there's
I got a lift today, and I kept looking at it, and finally I've decided it's Lola the sex swing, and I'm like, I did not need to know this
Is
about
this
you.
Days of the Dead?
I
friend?
love you. No, it's another.
I'm surprised.
It's another friend whose name I will not mention because I do not have permission.
Fair
But
enough.
yeah,
It's
but yeah,
usually the horror movie convention buddies that have the
The freaky
more
shit.
interesting things.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. No,
I feel like those do kind of go hand in hand sometimes.
they do. I have learned so much working at a horror movie convention. Things that I did not need to know. Things that I wish I didn't know.
Yeah, they could be a little too open too, I guess.
But it's
Oh,
in
by
there.
the way,
Yeah, it's in there. And
Yeah.
now I'm like, oh no. Here's the site you want to go to for the really good bondage gear.
Oh
And
god.
it's recommended by,
you can't go half-ass
Actually,
with
you're
that
helping your husband get his next job at Lions
I-
Den.
No, what's scary is before I ever met him, he thought he was getting fired from a job. So he like ran and started applying
Did we
everywhere.
tell you this story last time? Why I'm the most qualified
He
to
is
work at a
yes.
porno store?
He ended
I
up
don't-
being
I
the
don't think
most
so.
qualified because they made him take the
Okay.
little test.
Well, you go ahead.
Yeah.
You have to remember, we're
You
usually
tell 'em.
hammered
Go ahead.
Yeah.
and tell
by
'em.
this time.
So he applies at this adult bookstore, and they make him take, the little test that says, basically, are you going to steal from us in 50 different ways? Are you going to throw up punch a customer, stuff like that. And they called him back and he's like, oh no, I didn't end up getting fired from my job. I'm good. And they're like, oh man, that's so disappointing because you were the most qualified applicant that we had. So
They wanted to make
Well,
me a manager.
they wanted to make him a manager of the adult bookstore.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you
So-
could have had
You
more
could've
money than you're
tripled
making
I could
now.
the
have
amount
the
of money.
empire.
I mean, think
The
you could
empire.
franchise
Yes,
by now
exactly. Yeah.
if you had just gone for it.
Now you have to start back at the bottom.
I know.
Exactly.
Bam.
Figuratively, not literally.
I was just gonna say you always
No.
seemed like a bottom.
I've been called that by really stout men on the airplane have talked to me like that. I'm like, sorry. I'm
It's when you just tell them
you're
that
a
they
nice
look.
guy.
Do you have
but,
any other bags of nuts for me?
There you go. Yeah,
You-
keep them
yeah.
going. Keep them. Make her spit. Make her snort. There she goes.
Most of the time, you don't want women spitting.
This
guys
is what this
can't-
podcast is like.
Yeah, you guys can't see it because
Oh,
we're
you
an
guys.
audio podcast, but
But
Oh,
if you become
almost
a patron,
she fought a lot to not spray all over their laptop in front of them.
I
You're my
have
favorite part.
learned how to not spit.
Maybe he is
I
qualified
can
for this
attest.
manager at Lions Den.
yeah,
So I can attest to that.
I was gonna say
So-
submit this podcast as your resume, and
There you go. Yeah.
There we go.
We'll do this as a practice interview, and then you can send it in so they don't have to interview you.
Yeah.
They'll just know.
Yeah, let's see, you've been on 2 different interviews now where it's like it was advertised as this, but then you got to the interview and they're like, no, actually.
Oh yes, I went to a certain pizza place. I don't want
Oh.
to name names, and they because on in Indeed, I think I didn't say that because that's where I looked at the job site. Anyway, I go to Indeed and they say, "Hey, assistant manager." I'm like, "Okay, that'll work." And I go there and like, "Oh, well, no, it's a shift manager position
For $14 an hour.
$14 an hour. Oh, since you're qualified, it'll
Yeah.
be $14 an hour. If you weren't qualified, it'll be only $12 an hour." I'm like, wow.
It's like you can blow me for $14 an hour.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'd rather
So-
not have a job than work for that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
Granted, here in Illinois, I don't think they can pay you under $15 an hour because everything's so
fucked.
expensive here. Yeah.
Wow.
oh, it's insane. It's insane. On TikTok, I don't know if you get into these TikToks. I don't know how I ended up with these TikToks, but the New York City apartment tours.
Oh,
Where
I
it's like-
love those.
Yeah, where it's like this spacious apartment that is 700 square feet and only $4,000 a month. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Spacious and 700 square feet shouldn't go in the same sentence.
Yeah.
Look at this
and-
fridge. It is
Yeah,
a
it's
mini
spacious.
fridge next to the oven, which is just a stovetop and
Yeah.
a microwave, a single stovetop.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I love the one that it's like, you get 700 square feet, but look, it has a wine cooler. I'm like,
And, like,
and
here is my kitchen. And then if you make a 90-degree turn, this is my bedroom.
yeah. Yeah, and I'm just like, what do
It's
they
like living in a dorm.
exactly?
It's
Worse.
I'm like,
Yeah.
it is the clown carve apartments because I just picture 20 people in there stacked, like in a morgue.
Oh, that's why I hated flying to New York is the people that are on the plane are the most annoying, obnoxious, pretentious because they can actually afford a ticket to get out of New York.
Did
So like most New Yorkers can't get out of New York. Because
Did
Yeah.
you
it's
ever
so
have
expensive.
have those like apartments that have like bunk beds in the like filled with bunk
Oh,
beds
yeah.
that like a bunch of like people who work on airlines have, like they all like chip in for the
Oh, yeah, they all have, like,
those
the
are
crash
called
pad.
crash pads.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've seen them. And I've not had to stay in one. But yeah, it's insane. It's like,
Yeah, it's
unless
like-
you're like 19 and give a fuck, it's like I don't know how anybody else could do it.
Yeah.
So it's just yeah.
Nobody
I mean-
would want to share a room with me anyway. I snore very loud.
Now there are some houses where they'll rent out rooms, which is a little bit better. But yeah, they do have the crash pads where it's basically a huge apartment with bunk beds and shit.
It's like every room is just bunk beds and then there's a living room in the kitchen.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It
exactly.
basically looks like, Heaven's Gate. Here you go.
Yeah.
Here's your
Get
cult
fucked.
apartment. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, some of those apartments, I'm just like, seriously. And I'll even like comment on them. I'm like, I live in a house that's almost 2,000 square feet and my mortgage is nowhere near what that rent is. It's like a quarter of what that rent is.
Yeah, it's like my monthly mortgage payment is like $1,600 something dollars. Like it's like not
Wow.
extreme, but I'm like, what's everyone else doing here with that thousands of dollars a month?
Yeah,
Ours
I remember
is,
where-
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
ours
You want
only-
me to make you like just
yeah.
really hurt?
Yeah.
Ours is 750.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
I
Well,
live. Do you have a house or like a townhome? Or
We have a
Oh, it's a
house.
house.
Oh,
Three bedroom, 2 bath, little
Oh,
side yard.
I have a townhome. It's also 3-bedroom, but one of them isn't worth being a bedroom.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's 2 full baths, but the one is like a normal like small bathroom with shower and everything, and then the other one is like the master, so it's got the 2 sinks, the amenities and stuff.
Ooh,
but
he
it's
has 2 sinks.
I do, but it
Ooh.
is attached to the hallway. So like our upstairs bathroom is the master bathroom. It's attached directly to our bedroom, but also to the rest of the house. So we like keep the hallway door locked and tell people that they have to shit downstairs.
I'm sorry, you can't
As
have
you
the good
should.
bathroom.
Yeah, exactly.
This is
Yeah.
the perks of when I own my own house. You shit where I tell you to shit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's downstairs where I don't have to think
with
about
the rest
you.
of the peasants.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
It's either downstairs or in the yard. Those are your choices.
I don't have a yard,
Oh,
so
Yeah, you live
It's
in
you
a
can't even
townhouse.
offer them
Yeah,
a yard,
it's
man.
a townhome. Technically, I might have the way that our townhome is built is it's 3 units, and I'm an end unit, and the way my end unit is set up is the back of my house is the other 2 units. So like
Oh.
so
Okay.
like when you're driving on the street, it looks like I have my own house. Like I have a
Oh,
garage
okay.
door, I have a garage, my own driveway, a garage door, a front door. Like you could, if you look directly at my house, it's its own entity. And then there's a driveway next to my driveway that leads to the joining other places.
Yeah.
But so yeah, so the back of my house is the middle unit, and then and then the other end unit is sideways as well.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
but yeah, so I can't complain. But so I might have that little front yard that might technically be mine, but I don't think it is. Like because the other people don't have a front yard. Like
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've just accepted at this point that I will never own property. It won't ever be able to be like a thought that I can actually move on with, because I think interest rates are like at a minimum of 7.5% right now.
yeah, I got
Oh
in.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I got in nice. My interest rate is like 3, maybe 2.9.
Oh
Oh,
wow.
Like
that's
it's
not bad.
great. Like
yeah.
I got and the company I worked for when we were buying our house had a deal with PNC Bank that if we got our mortgage through PNC Bank, we got a full percentage off of our
Oh.
interest rates.
Wow.
So it was like we bought our house. It was still a seller's market when we bought our house, but right at the perfect time where yeah, we overpaid for the house, but we don't have interest. Like
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's good. I'm just
Gotcha.
waiting because just like down the road from us, they're building these ungodly houses that they're going to be charging like 300 for, and they back up to railroad tracks.
Oh hell yeah.
I mean, they're right
There,
on.
I
the
mean, it's like
lawn.
here's the railroad
It's
track,
like
and
you
then
go down
here's
the
going to
little
be the
hill
back
there,
of somebody's
and
house.
yeah, it's
It's like that, and I'm like,
so is 300 a lot or not, or mediocre, or like where's that in your guys'
we bought.
market?
Okay, just to give you an idea, we bought ours for 121,
Yeah.
and it's almost 2,000 square feet.
Yeah.
3 bedroom,
What
2
year?
bath. We've lived here 8 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my townhome, which is a decent size, it's a nice house. We bought it in 2021, June 30th, 2021,
Mhm.
and we overpaid by $10,000 for it.
As you do.
As you
As
had
one
to,
does,
as
yes.
you had to do at the time, and we paid $225,000 for this
That's not
townhome.
too horribly insane for Chicago. But,
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
it's for where we're at, that's average.
yeah.
Like this is
Okay.
normal for us. Like so I was like
Yeah.
when you said $300,000, I was like, I don't know where how I'm supposed to react to
Yeah,
that.
it's
because-
insane. It's insane for this area because, like I said, like all the houses in my area, none of them are over 2.
Okay.
None
So,
of
like,
them.
Our
and they're
house, our house by you would probably be under $100,000.
probably. I mean, it's
So
all in where
probably
you're
around
at.
the 100,
Yeah.
okay.
Like because I live 50 minutes from like deep in Chicago, and
Okay.
like the closer suburb I get, I think even just going half an hour closer to Chicago, which is still just a suburb, like nice area.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
where Jeff lives basically.
Mhm.
And my house would have been over like $300,000. Like it,
Yeah.
like literally
Yeah.
half an hour would have changed over like $115,000 more.
Yeah.
And like
Wow.
that's how we're
It's-
at. And then going into Chicago, we're looking at like New York prices.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see,
Like-
like where we live, we're the middle point between Indianapolis and Lafayette. So we are like halfway between the two.
Yeah.
So many people live here but work
That
in
either
either Indianapolis
work,
or
yeah.
Lafayette because it's cheaper to live here than
Yeah.
it is in Lafayette or Indianapolis. So Yeah, we've
So it's kind of
always been sort of
defeating-
a bedroom community.
So now,
basically.
but now it's like defeating the purpose because everybody's moving in
Yeah.
and then all the prices are going up.
Don't get
So-
me started on the whole Lily project that's starting here. I'm
She
not gonna
started
get
I
herself.
haven't been told.
I'm not going to get started. I am not.
Well,
No,
well,
no.
Okay, do I change the subject or do
I
say
could-
go any further? How do you want this to go, guys? I'll let you guys flip a coin if you want to. How should we proceed here?
You want to change the subject.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, really.
Jeff, look at the notes. Look at the notes.
Oh God.
So
Now-
dildos, double-ended or
I'm excited
Depends on who
for
you're dating, I guess.
I'm excited for when we sell this house. Where like
Oh, we didn't change subjects very much. Okay.
I don't know. I was going
Well, I'm
off
still
of what
getting
she was.
screwed.
I don't have a
I
lot to
got
put in
that.
this. I'm not looking to buy. I
Yeah.
don't own
I
a
got
house.
that.
I'm just here.
have you considered like selling feet pictures to make extra money so you could buy a
Yes.
house?
Yeah.
I've
No.
considered. My wife's considered.
Well, Jeff, just to go on to your side, I had no inclination or desire to buy a house ever. Even when we got married, we're like, we won't buy a house. We'll just live wherever and do whatever. And then
Then we had the
situation
monkey
came
wrench.
around.
Yeah.
Exactly. Then we had to get a house. It's like, shit like that happens. So there you go. It's
You
like,
never
better get a
know what
house
your
now.
future holds, man.
I don't know.
So-
I'm content where
But
I
I'm,
am.
but I'm with
Are
you,
you?
man. I'm totally with you. It's like people let me
Physically
just
where you are.
lay
or-
wherever and I
Yeah.
just do my thing. I get that. So yeah, I'm totally on your side with that.
It's really kind of funny because when like the Powerball got up to like the what 1
Billion,
billion or
yeah.
whatever it was, we were talking and he's like, okay, let's just say we win. And I'm like, okay, first of all, hang on, I just had a moment. Okay. Anyway, he's like, what would we do house-wise? And I'm like, we would tear this down to the like ground, tear it down to the ground, fix all the fucking plumbing issues, O to the M to the G, and then rebuild it totally handicap accessible because I love this neighborhood and I don't want
Yes.
to ever move from this neighborhood.
Didn't you get? Yeah, I feel like I think it might have been like the first time we talked to you guys. Didn't you guys have a whole issue with putting your septic in or something?
Oh.
Do you want to give them details on
Based
that?
off- because I know, like, you-
$10,000 in debt because of plumbing.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why I'm looking for a new job.
Yeah, because first her plumbing backed up in her bathroom and they dug it up and he's like, you need to come look at this because I've been in this business 15 years and there's no way that this is to code. Somebody's drunk Uncle Fred laid this plumbing for this extension because if you look at our house, you can tell that her bedroom used to be the garage and then they turned it into a master bedroom.
Okay.
And they built it right on top of the plumbing,
Of the bad
which
plumbing.
comes in
Yeah.
to play here in a little bit. So they didn't even like join the two plumbing systems together when they built the extension. And we didn't have any like clean outs or anything. And he's like, it looks like Mario Brothers put in this plumbing. You don't have clean outs. It should have all been joined together, blah, 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 blah. I'm like,
There's a
so exact,
dinosaur
yeah.
living in here
Yeah,
attacking
exactly.
I
everyone.
mean,
It's totally
You have a
seriously.
princess. Like
Yeah, seriously, it's insane.
It's reminding me of
So
the money pit.
no, I mean, it happened. So we got that dealt with $3,000 later.
Mhm.
Then the tree out front decided, hey, you know what? All the pipes need my roots in them. Just
Yep.
need my roots in them. So we call them again because everything is backed up. So we can't even use the root killer that you can dump down in. Can't
Because
even
it
do
goes
that.
into
It has
the-
to be jetted. And they come and they do the whole thing and discover that the sewer line that is, of course, on our side of the world, not the city side of the world, our side of the world. The pipe coming from our house is here. The pipe to hook up to the sewer is like this.
So you're
it's
just
like-
dumping directly into the ground.
So yeah,
and-
so our neighbor who I've had to call the cops on, they were gonna have to dig up behind his house. I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to go tell him. Which he didn't pull a gun on me. I'm surprised. But I did have my nephew on the phone. I'm like, okay, I'm getting ready to go over and
Yeah.
talk to the neighbor to tell him that they have to dig up.
Yeah, I
back
was on
there.
a trip when they found all this out too. It's like
Yeah.
the first day they got told all this stuff. There's nothing I could do. I was like on a 5-day trip. It's like, and she just dealt with it.
Yeah, and they're like,
Yeah,
normally
she's
you
that
could just
kinda
dig
bitch.
up the pipes and clean it out and everything would be fine. Unfortunately, the pipes are under your daughter's bedroom. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
First of all, I'm going to go yell fuck very loudly for about 10 minutes and I'll be back. Then we're just going to deal with this. So yeah, they had to jet the lines and the whole nine. It was just insane. So that's why I'm like, if we ever win the lottery, I'm tearing this place down. We're going to do all new plumbing.
Oh yeah.
All new plumbing. Because yeah, I'm just waiting.
And as long as I got my recording studio and my, Spider-Man wallpaper, I'm all good.
Yeah.
Your plumbing is like
Yeah.
if the three, like me, Adam, and Nick, if we all got hammered and it was a challenge where Nick and I got to lay down the foundation of where like the pipes will be going, and Adam, no matter what, didn't get to question anything, just had to lay them down with whatever path we made.
Pretty much. Pretty
And
much.
we just did it to fuck with Adam.
Pretty much. Because when we discovered how they ran the water to Maddie's bathroom, they did from the washer hookup. They just hooked it up directly to the pipes going into the washer, ran it along the back wall, no insulation, no nothing, up against the back wall. But they built a very nice cover for it so you couldn't see the pipes.
Exactly.
But they froze every winter because they're right up against the wall with no insulation. So we had to rip that box apart. And my nephew's like, well, I can build on it. No. I'm dying in this house. At this point, it's a challenge.
Who's going to go
challenge.
first, me or the house?
Exactly. Exactly. And it's like with my dying breath, I'm setting this fucker on fire. That's just what's going to happen.
Did you guys ever see The Money Pit with Shelley Long and
Tom Hanks?
I have not.
No.
Seriously.
See that, and ours is like the half-hour version of that movie.
Yeah.
So,
Half-hour version.
yeah.
Because
So
right now there is that expandable insulation foam
Yeah.
coming out of my wall because there was no insulation between the outside and the pipes going in the wall, and that's where they froze. So now there's just insulation, like that foam insulation coming out of the wall because my nephew's like, fuck it. If you're going to die here, I have a solution. I'm like, do it. There's holes along the back wall where he sprayed it. And he's like, there you go. I'm like, good. As long as it doesn't freeze. Because I'm tired of hanging over the back of the couch with a hairdryer every winter.
yeah, we had to do
heating up that pipe, getting it to unfreeze. Because no matter what we did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously, hanging over the back of the couch trying to get some pipe to work is not a good time.
Or so I've heard.
If memory serves,
It's never been a problem for me.
back in the day before it's like, no, we can't do that. That hurts my hip. No, we can't do that. That hurts my back.
Seriously, with us having to
It's like, what is telling you today? Nothing.
Yeah, we're both.
We have 5 minutes. Let's go. Wait till you hit that stage, dear. Wait till you hit that stage of life.
Are you hurting? No. Am I hurting? No. Let's
gummy up and do it. Let's do it.
Gummy up and do it. There
Let's
you go.
you pop an Advil, I'll take a Viagra. Let's go.
Well, it's not even that.
It's not even that.
It's not even that.
It's not
It's
even
not-
ever needed.
Everything else
Unfortunately.
works. It works.
Power
It
through the
works.
things.
It's insane.
Your knees are killing you. Your
Because
back's
I'm
killing you.
learning
But you're
to.
like, you know what?
You-
I've got it.
You
I've got
probably,
it.
hey, if it works, you probably could, man. You could probably own the Lions Den with that.
I
If you
mean,
could fill in
seriously,
that box, they'll probably just sell it to you.
There
you
go.
know, they'll just be the franchisee, man. We'll be making bank.
Give them my testimonial.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry if you can hear the car alarm going off. My neighbors somehow put off their car alarm, and I don't see anyone moving in any type of hurry to go shut it off.
Of course not. You should, you should have been here earlier when
Well, I thought it was
Master
good.
Hunter here was going after the cricket that was somewhere along that wall. We are being overrun by crickets.
Ooh,
It's like the new apocalypse, or is that one of the plagues of Egypt?
No,
I don't
that's
know.
Yeah.
no,
It was locusts.
frogs and locusts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frogs and locusts. But seriously, we've killed what, 7 crickets?
Oh, yeah.
And then I discovered
guys-
these sticky pads that I now have along the back walls.
She
and
loves her. Yeah, she
I'm
loves those
giggling
crickets.
every time I see a fresh cricket caught on one of those sticky pads. I seriously have a little maniacal laugh because I love crickets outside my house.
I mean, it sounds like a trauma movie, low grade villain. You know, like the Toxic Avenger took on the cricket lady.
Yeah, it's seriously like a B
your
horror
villainy
movie.
is giggling at dead crickets. That's your villainy.
It's you know,
See,
you got to
the
get your joy where you can.
The only crazy shit that happens around me is there is some plumbing company that keeps running into mailboxes on accident and not
Oh.
stopping.
All right.
Like it's one plumbing company
Just
that
one.
has
Really?
done like 6 different jobs in the area and they keep hitting mailboxes.
Oh my
And
god.
like
Aren't your guys' mailboxes all attached
So-
to each
oh my
other
God.
too?
they're like our
your one
mailboxes are
unit
the
is
three like
yeah,
one building has one
three
mailbox.
mailboxes.
Are
So
they
it's
getting
three.
video footage of this? Oh my
Well,
god, set up a camera. Holy fuck.
I literally just had a cop knock on my door 2 days ago, and like I'm sitting around, and I get the notification on my phone. There's someone at your front door, and then I get the notification that my
Like,
doorbell has
hello?
been rung, and I look at it, and I'm just sitting, and because like I don't know, I've been selling stuff on Facebook, so I was like, yelled up to my wife who was working upstairs. I was like, I'm not expecting anyone, and I'm trying to pull up the app. And I'm like, there's a police officer at our door.
Okay.
And she's like,
Hi.
what? And I was like, so I run to the door and I open it up and I was like, hello? And he's like, yeah, I see that you have a Ring camera. You by any chance wouldn't have caught that mailbox being hit. And like there's like the unit next to us, like their 3 mailboxes on the mailbox post
Oh
was
wow.
like all fucked up. And I was like, that might like, and I looked and like, that's literally like the edge of my screen. So I was like, so I will
Oh,
try, but normally
no.
the camera doesn't start recording until it hits like a
It's-
certain
yeah.
area. And so
Yeah.
I might not have caught that. I'm like, it depends. And I looked and he was like, it happened within the past 10 minutes. And I look at my camera. I have the plumbing truck driving around our subdivision,
Wait.
not hitting.
Oh,
I-
man.
I missed it. Well, because it's like
You
it
didn't have
happened
the money
last,
shot.
yeah. Well, he said it happened in the last 10 minutes, and the last video my Ring camera had before the cop arrived was an hour before, and it was the plumbing truck. I have 2 videos over the course of 15 minutes of this plumbing truck driving past,
Oh, no.
registering on my camera that like there was movement
Uh-huh.
and going around, and it must have spent 20 minutes trying to find the house it was supposed to go to, and then as it left the house,
just-
hit this mailbox and drove away. And they like,
Oh.
and they were like, "Yeah, this has been the
guy going,
problem."
Fuck it.
Oh.
See, now you didn't get the joy though. My
I've
next
been there
door,
for
my
this.
next door neighbor, because of his camera, Ring camera, he actually helped bust a meth ring here in Boone County. Let me explain. So
So did we tell them this?
I
last
don't know,
time?
did we talk about our catalytic converter getting stolen?
Maybe.
Maybe? But you've
I
had a
remember-
lot
yeah,
to drink
go
since
recap.
then.
Yeah,
Recap.
and also that was the thing going around here too of people stealing converters.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't
So
know whether
it's-
that was
so-
you or my life.
Yeah, no, yeah, catalytic converter got stolen. You know, like we wake up one morning, start the bus, and it's like, what the fuck? Because it's like, "Brrr," and we're like, okay, did the muffler blow? What's going on? Call
Doesn't
my
seem like
nephew, and
that.
we're like, yeah, we think we need a new muffler. Who would you recommend? And he's like, did it just start today? And I'm like, yeah, it was fine yesterday. And he's like, hang on. And he came over, crawls under the bus, comes back out and goes, calls the police, tells us to call the police because our catalytic converter's been stolen. Lovely. So then he's like, wait a minute, because like our next door neighbor is my nephew's wife's cousin's ex-husband or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think we're
What
related.
kind
in
of
Kentucky.
Alabama town are you living
Yeah,
in?
it's, yeah.
It's like, what kind of
Yeah.
Kentucky kiss your cousin shit we got going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it gets worse. but
Also, I
that's
need
another
your
story.
nephew's number because it sounds like your nephew does everything.
He's that
Oh my
guy.
God,
He
yeah.
is that guy.
I
He
got
is
a guy for
also-
everything, and that
Yeah.
guy for everything is a guy.
Yes, seriously.
Exactly.
But so he's like, hang on, let me call him and see if his Ring camera caught anything. Well, we see a car going down the alley. Then we see a guy cross through his yard. And then like 10 minutes later, cross back through his yard with our fucking catalytic converter in his hand. He's just walking through his yard. He sends us all the footage. I posted online 5 minutes later. I've got people messaging me, oh yeah, that's so-and-so. And the car that went down the alley before, that's so-and-so's car. They run together and here's where they live. And so I pass it all over to the cops. they call me back. They're like, yeah, we just busted a meth ring. They were stealing catalytic converters to sell to get the stuff that
Meth,
they needed to
yeah.
make meth. And so I'm like, seriously, we just busted a meth ring in Boone County. And he's like, yep. And I'm like, do I get a bozo button or anything?
Yeah, exactly. We
No, you have a lot of angry people now.
So probably because
A lot of people wanting their meth, and you just fucked it up.
That's
for
true.
'em.
well, you know,
Back when I lived in Indiana, back like when I lived in Hammond and I was a private investigator at a company car. And one morning, it was my day off. I got up and I came downstairs, and my fiance at the time and her mom were both there, and they were like, what are you doing home? I was like, what do you mean? I was like, it's my day off. They're like, your work vehicle's not out there. I was like, huh? I go outside, work vehicle's completely gone. There's broken glass like on the in the street. And I was like, oh fuck. So I call my work. So this is where it gets fun. So our neighbor has like legit security cameras like on the corners of his house. No idea why, but they're there.
Now you do.
So I call the police. This vehicle has a GPS tracker on it because it's a company vehicle.
well, yeah.
So
Yeah.
as I'm calling the police, I'm also talking to my boss because he has the fucking GPS. So he's getting me that, and then the cop shows up. I give him those details. He's like, "All right, well, I'm gonna go see if he has any footage of it to make it a little bit easier. But yeah, we'll just go to wherever the GPS ping is." So apparently, what they did was they stole it. They had stolen a bunch of the same exact model within like a fucking 4-block radius for some reason.
Really?
And they took it, and then just like they went to like a McDonald's, a gas station, and then they went back home. So they were gonna like scrap it or like sell it for parts, but they showed up. They didn't take my dash cam down, which records inside the vehicle also.
No.
So it has the 3 guys on the video, and then the GPS tracker is still right there, and they're on the other camera. I was like, fucking, they found it within like 10 minutes of me giving them the information. They're like, yeah, they just keep
That's
stealing
awesome.
vehicles like that. And then I had to go get it out of impound, and I had to pay for it. And I was like, this is fucking bullshit.
Bullshit.
They're
Bullshit.
like,
That
yeah,
is
we
bullshit.
don't cover that. And I was like, what do you mean you don't cover that?
Wow.
Damn.
That's hardcore.
I know. I'm 2.5
That's like a
margaritas
hardcore
in.
fuck
This
you.
is
I
gonna
mean,
get
that's-
interesting
I mean,
now.
seriously.
Yeah, I paid like fucking $125 to get it out of the fucking impound.
If it
And
hadn't been a work
Did
No,
you
car,
also have to
also
fix
they
your
al-
window?
No, that did get paid for by the company.
Okay, well,
but
that's good.
I had to start it with a screwdriver when I got it too, because they had hot
Oh
wired
yeah,
it.
yeah. Okay.
So
yeah.
I had to use a screwdriver to turn it on. He's like, all right, there you go. Take that
Wow.
straight to a shop so they can fix that, because otherwise you're not going to turn that back on with your key.
yeah.
I was like, okay. I was
Yeah.
like, do I get to keep the screwdriver? He's like, sure.
Why not? I know when we moved in,
Right.
the workers that flipped this house, we ended up with what, 5 hammers, 7 screwdrivers,
Yeah.
like 20 pair of pliers. I mean, it was to the point where if anybody was like, hey, you got a pair of pliers I can borrow, here, just keep them.
Well, that should have been a sign when we looked at it and said, "Oh, this
Should have been a
I
sign.
feel,
Yeah.
yeah. Also, if
should
you
have
go
been
in your
done
walls,
well.
I'm sure you're going to find some more interesting things.
Truthfully,
I got a feeling.
yeah, when we added the room on, when my grandmother moved in with us, when I was younger, they just built a room on for her, and which involved taking the soffit off of the back of the house. And when
Oh,
Dad
yeah.
did that, he's pulling out all of these liquor bottles from like the 1800s, and
Huh.
and he had like 10 of
Yeah.
them lined up, and he's looking at those and he goes, you know what, this explains every fucking thing that's wrong with this house. Because from the day we moved in until the day that man died, something was being fixed in that
Oh,
house.
yeah.
I mean, it was in a constant state of renovation.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like every 10 minutes, he's like, God damn it, pulling another liquor bottle. And it's like they were, drinking and tossing it,
Yeah, basically,
tossing.
yeah.
Yeah. So like 10 liquor bottles all lined up. And he's like, this explains everything. Just right
There's,
there. That explains.
Yeah.
I've talked to some people in construction, and they're like, you'd be surprised the amount of piss bottles are in malls.
I
Oh
can,
yeah.
They're like,
wow.
because
Yeah.
like when there's no plumbing and if you gotta pee, you gotta pee, and you
Yeah.
pee in the bottle. And he's like, sometimes it's an accident. Like he's like, most of the time it's just we're not thinking, or it's an accident of like we set it down, it's out of the way, so it's on the stud, like in between the studs, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden drywall starts going up, and you're just not paying attention, or like it's in the middle of a sheet of drywall, so like you don't
Oh
see it
no.
when
Yeah.
you're putting up the drywall, and it's just there forever now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The
There's a
amount of piss
face.
bottles
Yeah.
in walls is
There's a
extreme.
Facebook page called Weird Things Found in like Attics and Walls or something like that. And like somebody took down the wall in their garage and out came all of these Pabst Blue Ribbon cans.
Yep.
Just like this avalanche of
Well, that's
Pabst
how
Blue
they
Ribbon
that's how they
cans.
made the wall level, and then they just threw drywall up around it. They're like,
Yeah.
boom,
So,
perfect.
that was the insulation. It
I
worked.
always write a note on the wall, like preferably like not on drywall, because I don't know where the next people are gonna rip. So if it's like a concrete wall behind or something, I'll write
Gotcha.
a message on there. And I've done like Adam was here, the company I'm working for, with their phone number, and I'll put so sometimes I'll do that, or I'll do Adam Adam was here, and then I'll date it, but I will do a date very far in the future. So
It's
like
here in 2135.
well, Adam was here in 2367.
There you go.
And like
there you go.
I know
Star Trek numbers.
that house is something's gonna happen to that house by the time that date comes up. So someone's going to see that, hopefully, unless the house just gets bulldozed over.
Yeah.
But like
yeah.
someone's going to see this note and be so confused, because then they're going to be like, when was the last time this was renovated? 50 years ago? Oh my,
Yeah.
like what the fuck? Like
Adam beamed in from the Star Trek Enterprise.
yeah, like what the
Yeah.
fuck is happening? And that's my favorite thing to do now, is just post
Sweet.
date that I visited.
Yeah, if we ever rip down a wall, which God willing we don't. Oh no, when they redo her bathroom,
Yep.
we should, before they put up the drywall, say, hey, can we do
You
something?
guys
there you
also
go.
have to write
There you
Adam
go.
though. You can't write your
Yeah.
names. You have to put
Oh,
Adam.
we have to write Adam
Adam-
was here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't
Like,
ask questions.
a lot of
Just
times
accept it.
people will like buy like the day's newspaper and throw the front page of the newspaper in.
I did that with 9/11.
Oh, really?
No. No, I did not.
True story. I now volunteer for the Historical Society here, and they have the Craigan House, which is their headquarters and was donated to them. The guy that owned that used to run the newspaper here in town, and they discovered in a closet every single issue of the newspaper for like 200 years, just stacked, like wrapped in like butcher paper and just stacked in a closet. And I'm like, I so want to go through those, but at the same time, I'm afraid to touch them
Oh yeah,
because,
exactly.
what if it falls apart?
Yeah,
You know. And then the ghost will get pissed at me. It's
Yeah.
haunted.
Oh yeah.
I have a story,
Go
but I'll
ahead.
tell it later.
when my mom was moving to Georgia, she had a huge storage unit
Oh yeah.
of like stuff that was hers, some of it was her mom's, and we were going through it, and my mom was like, yeah, just throw this box out. And I opened it, and it was a bunch of like Time magazines, back when Time magazine was huge,
Yeah.
of JFK's assassination.
One. I have
And-
one.
Wow.
So between that, and then there was like local newspapers of the day after the assassination, like
Mhm.
and I was like, what? Like, first of all, who is collecting the JFK assassination stuff? And also, Mom, why would you throw this out? It's probably
Yeah.
not worth much, but it's still cool to
It's like-
have.
Oh well,
something.
yeah.
Donate it to somebody,
So I
like,
held
like museum
I held
art,
on
yeah.
to it. I don't know who. I don't think I have. No, I don't have it. I think I gave it to
Mm.
Nick.
I'm sure Nick has it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I
Hmm.
think I get, because I was.
I
Like,
know. I don't.
Yeah, I was like, I don't care enough to hold on to it, but I care enough to not throw it out. And Nick
yeah.
said that he would take it, so Nick has it now. But
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say, because at the house that they have, there's one room that's just full of everything that everybody has ever donated to them, like that, like newspaper clippings, yearbooks, phone books, like all sorts of things. And I'm like, what are you guys going to do with all of this? And they're like, well, we're going to take an inventory and categorize it. And then I don't know. And I'm like,
As my dad likes to
that right?
say, it's not my problem.
yeah. Well, their goal is to do, let's see if I can say it 3 margaritas in, a genealogical library.
There you go.
Should have been drunk when I was doing, because now I run their TikTok page.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
Yeah.
And I had to say genealogical library, and it took me 10 fucking tries, stone cold sober, to do genealogical library. I should have just said a library for all of your genealogy needs, but no, they wanted it to be genealogical library. Now I can say it, motherfucker. Genealogical library.
Now, have I made the TikTok video for that one, or is the one I need?
No, you need to do that. Was
Yeah.
no, you did the one where I had to do genealogical library.
Okay, I did do that one.
Yes.
Anyway, if you go to her TikTok, you'll be able to find the Cragen house.
Yeah. Which is haunted.
So yeah, Thomas, right now.
Yeah,
you're
let's hear
dying
let's
to.
hear about that because we
Okay.
gotta wrap up
You're
soon.
dying
So
to.
Okay. So I was waiting for the board member that has to be there for me to volunteer, not knowing that she had texted the wrong phone number to tell me she wasn't going to be there. Sitting on the front porch waiting, and I can hear somebody moving around inside.
Mhm.
So I knock on the door thinking, well, maybe she just got dropped off. That's why I don't see her car. I knock. Nobody comes to the door, but I stop hearing the sound of somebody. And it sounded like somebody like moving furniture and boxes and shit. So I go back and I sit down. I'm doing stuff on my phone. And then I hear it again. And I'm like, here's the living room window, like right here by my head to where I'm sitting. And I can hear somebody moving around in there. And I'm like, motherfucker. So I knock again. Nothing. And so I sit back down, and like not even 10 minutes later, I can hear somebody moving around in there again. And I look out of the corner of my eye, and I can see the curtain flick, like somebody's moved it to look outside. And I'm like, is there an air conditioning vent there? You know, trying to think logically.
Yeah, see if it was like flowing a little bit.
And then I hear somebody moving around in there again. So I go and knock again. And this time the curtain on the front door goes, whoop, whoop, and then I hear on the other side of the door. And I'm like, okay, I'm obviously upsetting the ghost. I'm leaving.
yeah.
I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm gone. And so I email the board member that I was waiting on. I was like, call me. And she calls me, and I tell her what happened. And she's like, oh, that must have been Addie, the wife of the guy that built it. Yeah, she haunts the house. And I'm like, okay, things that I should have been told a long time ago.
Yeah.
Because now I want to hang out.
Yeah.
You know, now I want to hang out with Addie and be like, so, sup, Addie, let's talk. Let's talk. Tell me everything.
Has her margaritas and her little Ouija board.
No Ouija boards. No.
I refuse to let a Ouija board enter my house.
No Ouija
I
boards.
hate them.
I do it the old-fashioned way with, you know, a recorder of some kind.
I do it
and
the really old-fashioned way. I also just die.
You just die. I mean, you know.
I've only had, let's see, I've seen a ghost cat. When I was really young, we had like sibling cats, a brother and a sister,
Mhm.
and the sister like was very old, and the brother had died like 2 years before. The sister was very old. She was sleeping in my bed with me, and I like got up in the middle of the night to go pee, and I walk out of my room, and the brother was like sitting there in my doorway, and I was like confused because I was like half asleep, but also
Mhm.
you've been dead for 2 years.
Yeah.
like
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah,
and I
right?
was like, and I just like, and it like there was like a white shimmer around it, and I just like gasped, and then it like looked up at me, turned around, and ran straight through the wall outside. And I was like, okay,
Oh,
that was weird.
lovely. Yeah,
Eh.
Spooky still walks down because we have a metal ramp going from our entryway to our living room for Maddie. And when he would come down it, you'd just hear this little pop pop as his, because he was a fluffy kitty.
Mhm.
Okay, he was fat. Let's just say what it is. And so he'd make a little pop pop as he walked down the ramp. And every once in a while I'll be sitting on the couch and I'll still hear that. And I will automatically look to see if he's coming around
Coming around
the
corner,
rocking
coming around
chair.
the rocking chair, yeah.
And because it is the exact sound that he made coming down that ramp. And I'm like, and every once in a while I'm like, dude, seriously, cross over. We're good. Seriously.
18 years was enough.
Yeah, go across the Rainbow Bridge. Mom and dad are over there. They'll take care of you. Dad love cats. It's all good.
Yeah.
Just go. We're good. We're good. We're good.
I did have one of my friends one time get possessed, and that was horrifying.
I think we need to have another show where we just talk about paranormal shit.
I only
We
got the
should've
2
done that.
stories.
We
but-
should have done that. I love
I
talking
have
about
so
paranormal
many.
shit.
Okay, we're already scheduling the next time we're on.
Okay.
It's going to be because it's October.
True.
We need to,
Yeah.
next month we will do a whole paranormal show.
Well,
Okay.
here we go. We could just extend this for however you want to extend it. We can do the paranormal thing now and then cut off the other stuff. And there you go. You got a paranormal show.
No,
Boom.
I
we'll,
only
we'll
have
meet
so
back up
much
because then we gotta have
left.
Nick because
Yeah,
I'm
we
just,
need Nick.
I'm just messing with you.
Okay.
Nick's
Okay.
Catholic, so
We
we
could
need
also
his
just do it to where we go on
perspective.
your show and do it that way too.
There we
That's
go.
true.
We'll get it scheduled as soon as we're
Yeah.
done here.
That's
Yeah.
true. There
yes,
we go.
yes.
Perfect.
Well, it was a pleasure having you both back on the show. Thank you for
Yes.
letting us use your Zoom.
Yeah,
Well, it's
thanks.
all good.
No problem. We'll use it again. It's okay. Anytime we talk to you, it's good. It's good.
Oh yeah, we always have the interesting discussions and interesting subjects, and definitely looking forward to that paranormal.
Yeah, we'll have to get that scheduled because that'll
Yeah.
be fun. Yeah, when
Because you guys will be able to ramble on that all night.
yeah,
So I'm just along for the ride. Because I
he's paranormally challenged.
Yeah.
so I just want you
course.
going, oh, I can
Yeah.
debunk that. and,
Yeah,
you know,
Casper
I
could
can
come
or
up and
not.
give him a blowjob, and he would be like, "Wow, that was interesting."
Yeah. Oh well.
Nothing.
Look up the YouTube video Blowjob Cabin.
It's a trailer for a fucking
It's a
like,
trailer
horror
for
movie.
a fake horror movie.
That's
It's
funny.
hilarious.
Watch it. Let me know what you think. It's great.
Okay, so we
Okay.
have homework before the next time we get
Yes.
together.
Yes,
I
yes,
love
yes.
it. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Thanks for coming on. Where can people find you at?
Just about everywhere. YouTube. Where else? Are we on Spotify?
Places.
I'm working on that.
Okay, we're working on Spotify.
Mostly YouTube.
Mostly
And Drunken
YouTube.
Housewife Review. Drunken
Anchor,
Housewife Review.
Facebook. We
Facebook
have
fan
TikTok,
page,
but we
yes.
haven't updated it lately. We'll have to do
Yeah,
that.
we'll have to add some more stuff to that.
So
And we each individually have. She has Sarah Kennedy on TikTok. What's it on TikTok?
Bruise Mommy
Bruce
211.
Mommy on there you go. And you can just type in Ian Kennedy and you can find my bullshit.
I'm more entertaining.
I think I have my puppet Tommy on one of the videos, so I'll have to bring out my puppet Tommy sometime.
Okay.
He can help with the Ouija board. He just
No Ouija boards.
no.
No.
Tommy can't help with the Ouija board.
No.
Oh my god,
No.
he loves that shit. You know he loves that shit.
Tune in for when we fuck around with the Ouija board. Just Ian and I on Zoom.
You, me, and Tommy. Tommy will be in there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Adam and I are sitting over to the side with like holy water and sage.
Yeah.
Shit.
Uh,
Anyway,
Thanks so
This
much
has
for
been
coming
fun.
on. It's been a great time.
yes, definitely.
We'll do it.
yes.
We'll be on your show in the
Yes, yes.
few
We'll
I
do it
guess
live.
we'll-
Fuck it.
Everybody, we're gonna be scheduling that for the next time on Drunken Housewife Reviews.
Yes, yes, yes. We'll get that scheduled as soon as we're done bullshitting here.
There you go.
Well, thanks so much. It's been a pleasure.
Yes,
I'm
definitely.
awful
Thank
at
you.
ending episodes. It's been so long. Bye.
Yes.
Try not to suck.